Your 9 to 5 pays the bills while your afternoons or your after hours is building your life, at least for now. So we are not alone in wanting a shift when it comes to career, or at least when it comes to how much we put our time into work versus how much time we put our time into lifestyle, hobbies, just relaxing, exploring things, creativity. Unfortunately, we are so consumed by that our 9 to 5 our work is taking up space and taking all of the time of our days, and then we come home and we are tired. So we are in an era where we need to take our power back. It doesn't matter if you have plans to transition, it doesn't matter if you want a change career wise or not, but we are constantly consuming ourselves with the idea of that our jobs are taking up all the time and all the energy. So in the end of the day, the after hours is pretty packed, and it makes us feel stressed. It makes us feel that we are not getting anywhere, or we're not creating enough value through our lives. And though there is a big discussion about that, we in that case need to also change our career or change our jobs, that might not always be the easiest to do, especially if you want to go to a totally new industry, or if you want to start your own business or do something very different. So, because of that, I want to talk about the after hours today, because we're so many that feel that we want so much more time for our spirituality, so much more space for our hobbies, our lifestyles, expressing ourselves, our creativity, and we start to blame our jobs, and that is not the way to go towards it. I promise you, I've been doing that mistake before, and it helps so much better, and you're coming so much closer to your dreams and tuning into your future self the most if you're instead paying attention to your after hours. Just because 80% of your time, just let's say that that's it, 80% of your time is you going to work and being at work, doesn't mean that the 20% can be what is actually the one who's building your life. It is about the quality, and it is about the energy in which you put in, not the time. So today I want to talk about, to have it a little bit structured, I want to talk about the magic of after hours, why it is building your life. I want to talk about how to make the most out of this after hours, how to decrease the stress or the worry, or just the feeling of that you want so much more space for your creativity or your self ceremonies or your journaling, whatever it is, right? And also I will bring in a bonus of talking about why and how you can bring your after hours into your work, so it feels even more so valuable throughout your days. So I'm super excited for this. If we start with the magic and why your after hours is building your life, is because this is a safe space for your future self. This is the prime time where you don't need to have any certain schedule. You don't need to do anything particular that you don't want to do. You have space for priming your energy and put yourself in the feet, in the shoes of your future self. Okay, it can seem like we do not have the space, like we do not have the time, that it doesn't fit our schedule, but in that case, it's up to us to change that, because we own our own time, we own our own space, and especially our own after hours. So this is the brilliant time to really tune into your future self, make your home feel like your future self, make your friend circles feel like your future self, make everything that you do, the activities, all of that, that you bouncing and tuning to that energy, to that frequency of your future self to build your life. Most of our lives, we pay attention to, the commute, going to work, doing chores, planning for dinner, making the dinner. And we feel that we have very little space left for actually doing, building our life, or doing, more of that lifestyle or whatever it is, right? But it is actually about understanding that we can find ways of infusing that throughout our whole day, and also understanding that the commute, understanding that the planning of dinner, that is all a part of the journey, that is all a part of the human experience. And you can choose what you want in your human experience or not, but it's actually a part of your day-to-day life. It is a part of your future self. It is a part of who you are and who you're becoming and having the greatest life. It's just more so about what we do with those moments. So why it's also so important, why your after hours matters the most, is because they are truly yours. Okay, I stepped into it a little bit when I was talking about the future self, right, and priming your energy, but it is truly yours. It is when you are able to decide for what you want to do. It's when you have your prime time to just like, this is what I feel for right now, this is my rhythm for today, this is what I value in life, like this is what I want to spend my valuable space, energy, and time on. And you can totally do that. You can log off the phone, the internet, on be offline, online, whatever you want to. This is your prime time. So these are the sacred hours. These are the sacred hours for not having deadlines if you don't want to, or if you don't feel that that helps you. Structure for me helps in a way, but I also have to make sure that it's balanced. So I invite a lot of flow. So that is the last part of why like your after hours matters so much, is because we usually invite flow into our lives the most. We invite, the flow of just like, what do I feel for eating today? Do I feel for this or that, if you haven't planned for it already? Or we are inviting the flow of like, just now I just want to dance, or I want to just release, or I want to do something different. Maybe this one is actually one of the most important discussions here today, is to how to make space for these after hours. I hear constantly people talking about, and it doesn't matter actually if they do their dream job, if they have so fun at work, or if they dread it like the most, so to say. It doesn't matter. What I hear from almost every single person is that they want to have more space for their hobbies, they want to use their creativity more throughout their days, and they just want more space for learning a new skill, or whatever it is in your interest. That space, that self space where you really decide what you do with your time, is so needed on this planet at this moment. So because of that, we need to find kind of where to make space for that as well, and how can we make it feel like we really have that space. So the first thing that has really made a change for me when it comes to having more space and having more energy and just feeling that I'm flowing more into my after hours, is to release the workday before I'm entering my home. I used to come home, and that would be kind of the space for me to release the workday. If I've been stressed, or if I've been like annoyed about something, and it took me like 1 hour, 1.5 to just like settle down, get into meditation, maybe, just like come back to me, really me, who's not like achieving something, or it's not in any certain type of discussions or whatever it is, right? And that took a lot of time from, the few hours that you have left for that day. And that made me always feel that I'm falling behind and I'm stressing into my me time. So instead of that, something that had worked so great for me, and I love to share this just because of that, I hope that this really helps you as well, is to release before you enter your own space. If you work at home, you need to do it a little bit different. You need to use your creativity here, but it's definitely possible here as well. So this means that we make sure that the last half an hour to 15 minutes, whatever you have, is your space to release work. So you will finish up what you can for the day, reflect about the day. How has this day been going? Is there something that I want to, plan for tomorrow? You do all of that. And then if you're entering, like exiting a certain building, if you work in an office or something like that, or if you're exiting your home office or something like that, you're going to picture yourself like you're stepping into and out of a portal. And you're going to really make sure that you are done with everything. So you're going to ask yourself, like, is there something that I have left in my energy, in my emotions, something that I really want to address right now? And then if that bubbles up, you will just like grab it a little bit. Okay, yeah, have a little bit of discussion about it. And then you're just like, okay, now it's my prime time. So now this will have to wait for tomorrow. If there is something left that is lingering, it will be a new day for that. Now it's my time, now it's now it's my space, okay? So you're like really setting the kind of energetic boundary for you to release work. And if you feel that you haven't really released it yet, stand there until you will release it. And you will want to have the motivation to release it for earlier, because it's just like, okay, I want to go home now, or I want to, exit my office. So this is a really has been so helpful for me. If it works with journaling for you to release, if it works with like talking for you to release, find your methods. The message here is to have a certain ritual where you decide that I'm letting go of this day, and now I'm just like off with the hat. Now it's my turn here. So the next one to make the most out of your after hours is to have a dedicated future self power hour, I call it. Okay, so I noticed that, I have so many hobbies that I want to do. I have so many different ideas. There are so many different things in my business, since I have a business on the side as well. And I start to realize that there are a lot of things that I actually don't have the time with of doing. I need to, or at least I want to cook a healthy dinner, a good dinner for myself, relax a little bit and all of that. So me understanding that if I can give myself a future self power hour, this can be 30 minutes for you, whatever suits your schedule at this moment. But this is the power hour where I decide for what is the absolute most important kind of task or energy vibe. What is the most important I need to do to really create momentum in my life? What is the most important that will activate me into my next version, into my next chapter, into my next self? So usually we can go into this. I will not talk about like planning and deciding for your goals and all of that, but this is really where you're seeing through that this is the most important goal I have at this moment of time. And this is my hour, which I will dedicate for this one. So it can be that you writing a book. It can be that you are, I don't know, like looking at other jobs or whatever it is for you. Like this is the most important goal that you have set for yourself for that season. You make the most out of your after hours when you pay less attention to mindless scrolling and more attention into intentional scrolling. And this might be that you actually need to go online because you're learning a skill right now. You want to check something, you want to do some research. You maybe have an app that helps you to get into your vibes, right? This is the moment for you to decide for when I am entering the online space, especially for after hours. This is a mindful one. I'm doing this for getting into this vibe. I'm going online for posting something. I'm going online for like extremely intentional. I'm going online for having this expansion, leveling up in this way, understanding this about myself, right? You're going to be very, very intentional when you are going online. Of course, it's okay if you like doomless scrolling and you want that a little bit like fill it in the cups throughout the workday or something like that. But after hours are your hours. They're so unique and so important for you. And I don't say that, there's a lot of goodness around on the internet as well, where you like actually can get help of evolving yourself, get yourself into a certain energy, but it has to be intentional and it has to be aligned with the goals that you've set for yourself. Okay, so now when we know why it's important, your after hours, and also how you can make them matter even more, we're going to check into how to feel less stressed about maybe feeling tired after work, so you don't feel that you're accomplishing that much, or the after hours they're just like swooping by and then you are actually it's bedtime, so to say. So I think I want to keep this a little bit smaller, this list, because I really want you to get a very, very strong message about this part. And this strong message is that you don't need your hours, you need moments. Okay, you don't need X amount of hours, you need intentional, devotional, present moments. Okay, one single little moment can make a shift that will change your life for the rest of the year. I've seen it over and over and over again for myself in my own life, in my coaching, also in my tarot readings a lot. In tarot readings, you can really like find the small little tweaks, shifts very quick, very easily because you read the energies, right? And which can really set this tone for days, weeks, months, years ahead. And why I say this is because we can get so consumed into the fact that, okay, now I just like have only 4 hours left, and now I was tired, so I needed to nap, or I just needed to relax a little bit, and now I only have 2.5 hours for bedtime. I know the struggle, and I really know how that feels sometimes, especially if you're a homebody and just like, I have so much fun things to do around here. But I really telling you that when you can really like let yourself understand the fact that time doesn't matter, that the moment is matter, the moment, the energy, the vibration, the potency that you put into that moment, oh wow, oh wow, you will shift a lot in your life when you understand that and you continue to get to practice that belief, I will say, and act upon that belief. Okay, we're entering the bonus and how we can actually sneak in our after hours already into our workday so we can get more of that. So we also can feel that throughout our days we are fueling ourselves with that energy, that vibe that we really feel at home. The first thing that I want to say is that I've noticed that there are so many people that do not feel that they can be themselves at work. And I know that there is a very big difference also in work ethics, work culture. In Sweden, you kind of can be a little bit more yourself, even though not so many people feel that they can, but you actually can. It's not that kind of bureaucratic systems, and it is a little bit more chilled when it comes to how you show up at work, I would say, compared to I don't really know, of course, but compared to what I hear from my friends that are coming from other cultures, have been working in other countries. So I know that that is, of course, I having that in mind when I'm saying this. But the more that you feel that you can be your true self, the more that you will align to the dream job, the more that you will get the positions that really work for you, the easier it will be for you at work. And it will also make you feel that, wow, I don't need to come home and then I just like, rah, expressing all of myself when I'm at home, that you can actually be your fullest self wherever you are. You're helping, you're stepping up not only for yourself, but for the world by showing who you are. And I started with that in small portions. In the beginning, I didn't feel that, I felt that I was a little bit judged or that people could just like see me in another light. So I started to invite in different ways the flavors of me, saying a little bit sentence of something I did the weekend or saying just something, testing it by. Nowadays, I don't give a F, I'm just like telling because I know if I stand in my power, the colleagues that resonate with me, the opportunities that resonate with me, all of that would just like stream in even more. So this is actually something to consider. Ask yourself, how can I show up more as me at work, and why do I feel it feels unsafe if I feel so? Okay, that was an extra one. I wasn't thinking about taking that one, but as I said, that's why I need structure sometimes as well. Okay, so how can you bring your after hours into your work? You can use the commute for mini transformations. I love this one. So my commute time is really my time for, let's say that I have a season where I want to read a book, or I want to, bring myself even more so into my future self. Then I've listened to visualization practices. I, step into and visualize my future self, going to my future self office, whatever it is, before I enter in work. And on the way back, I do the same. So I use that perfect space that we have throughout our days to actually do something that is important to me. So whatever it is for you, start to do what fills your cup when it comes to building your life and when it comes to stepping into your future self energy, but also what feels the happiest for you. Lunch alchemy. I've been using lunch alchemy so many years, and it saved me at times when I felt that, oh my God, what am I doing at this workplace? So my lunch breaks are truly important, and they shift throughout what type of season I'm in my life or whatever. Nowadays, I have a little bit other, or can we say, focus, and one of my intentions are to be a little bit more involved at the workspace than I've had before, socializing a little bit more. So I give 30 minutes for eating lunch together with my colleagues, using that space to, just like bond with them, connect with them, whatever, and then I use the other 30 minutes for me. I go for walks, I maybe do some visualizations, I journal, and this is something that I've done for a very, very long time. Before, I used to, sneak away and do my own things the whole lunch, and that is so okay. I still do that those days when I feel that, okay, now I just want me space. I go and eat my lunch somewhere else, or I go take myself out for lunch myself, watching some YouTube video. I do what I would do if I were at home, if I were just like chilling out, to really fuel myself with that energy, but also have a space for me where I feel that I do things that really matters to me. So use it intentionally also. The lunch alchemy is actually called alchemy just because it's meant to reset your energy by the midday so that you have a great mood, you're boosting yourself, you're priming yourself for the rest of the day. It's a very great check-in to see where my vibrations are at and how do I want them to continue be for the rest of the day. So really use this time for your alchemy, really use this time for, deciding maybe beforehand, okay, are there certain type of activities that can make me feel and be into this kind of high vibrational state? Okay, then I will have it prepared. I will bring my journal book with me, or I will find a spot where I can just like dance and like shake everything off, right? Okay, and then we have the after meeting resets. The after meeting resets are there for when we have had meetings. We might feel that we want to rush directly back into the day, or we feel that, I need to take some bullets from after the meeting, whatever you need for a couple of minutes, that's okay. But after meetings, it's also a very, very good time, especially if you're a homebody, especially if you gather and collect your energy within, to check in with yourself and check in with your own energies. Are there some energies that you should shake off? And is there something that you just want to check in with yourself, like tune in a little bit? And this is so important so that you don't drag yourself down or have pulled some energies from the room, from others, whatever, and then bringing it into your after hours. So that's why that is so important. This can be like taking three deep breath. This can be like taking 3 deep breaths. This can be as micro journaling. It can be shaking, or some yoga poses, right? It can be whatever, but it has to be something where you feel that you're getting into your flow again, you're getting into your greatness, your boosting your mood. Okay, and the last one is having a identity practice. This is one of my favorites as of now. They always like circulate, but I think this is my favorite as of now. So sometimes you might have a work that feels that, okay, I'm not like really using all of the skills that I want to use at work, or I feel that I want to do something very different in work-wise or whatever it is, or you just want to step more so into your future self identity. Oh my God, this practice is so good. Okay, so whatever you do throughout your days, you're not going to change anything that you do. You're going to bring in the identity into your already written emails, receiving a customer call, planning for a strategic meeting, right? You're going to bring in and practice the identity in which you want to become more of, and in which you want to step into, and in which belongs to your future self. So let's say that your future self is someone who is, just take something silly like much more playful. Okay, how can you write that email in a more playful way? Or how can you read that email in a more playful way? How can you make 2 colleagues come together through play? How can you make a boring strategic meeting a little bit more fun? So you're bringing in that identity into that space. Practice speaking, acting, being, feeling, showing up as your future self, and you will be there in no time. Okay, so these were all of the points I had for your after hours, making the best of your after hours. And as you noticed, They start already in your day to day, in your 9 to 5, in your 7 to 5, whatever hours are yours, so to say. But this is really to understand that you have the power of your own time, you have the power of your after hours, and you can infuse your after hours and make the gap, bridging the gap a little bit more, and seeing how you can actually be more of who you just are, having more fun throughout your days while not letting your 9 to 5 consume you, letting yourself know that your after hours are really building your life, and it's really helping you to level up in life and take you to higher levels, to new places, to new dreams. And at the same time, you can actually have another work that is paying for your bills as long as you want to, or so that you can buy those coloring books you like, or you can go for those ceremonies, those yoga practices, whatever it is. All those activities, they are yours to grab because you have that job on the side, right? Start to see your day job as something that you do on the side. Changing the perspective. Oh my God, every single time I change the perspective of things in my life that isn't just working, or there's something that I just don't feel aligned with, every single time I feel so much better, and hence I make new decisions, have new thoughts, have new vibrations, change my energy, change my vibe. I shift, so my reality shifts after.